I'm going to show you some of the strangest secrets of prophetic code 16, 18, and 19 in this video. In case you're new here, consider subscribing to my channel, hit the notification bell so you won't miss out of other powerful videos that I'll be uploading on this channel. Like this video, comment and share to bless others. Prophetic code 16 is the prophetic code of shadow. Prophetic code 18 is the prophetic code of splankna. While prophetic code 19 is the prophetic code of visions. These prophetic codes have areas in which they share some common things. Howbeit, each of them are distinctly prophetic code entities that a prophetic person or people in the prophetic office must have a full awareness of in order to be able to prophesy with maximal accuracy or at a forensic level, as it is said. The prophetic code of visions. Vision features in virtually all of the visual-based prophetic codes or vision have been so isolated as a prophetic code, distinct because of some of the known realities about visions that position such visions in such a way that they can't be classified under any of the prophetic codes that engage the visual prophetic sense to tap into the prophetic realm. Scripturally speaking, the first mention of vision was with Father Abraham, where he had presented a sacrifice on God and he was waiting to watch over his sacrifice. The Bible said in a process, deep sleep fell upon the man Abraham and he fell into a vision and he began to see things. That was in fact where God gave him the detail about the people of Israel, his descendants to come, going into captivity and to return after a 400-year or 4 generations period. Vision can give you a prophecy that is 100% accurate, a prophecy that eventually comes to a full-blown fulfillment, as we can see with our father Abraham here. He fell into a deep sleep and eventually went into a vision. If you go back to the creation of man, after God had created Adam, the Bible said that God caused a deep sleep to come upon Adam. Then he picked up a rib, or picked 2 ribs out of him and made the woman. So invariably, Adam had fallen into the same state that Abraham, our father, fell into, to tap that about the future reality of his descendants. In other words, Abraham's revelation picked from a vision was as real as God having Adam fall into a deep sleep, then picking 2 ribs to create an Eve, a tangible person that Adam had to interact or relate with. Pick that and put that at the back of your mind. I want to make you understand that visions are as real as you real before this video watching me right now. Why we have the prophetic code of vision is because there are certain visions that do not obey the rules guiding any other prophetic code that engages vision for its appreciation of things in the realm of the spirit, whether from the future or the past or the present. Here, like the prophetic code of splankna, which is prophetic code 18, the prophetic code of shadow, which is prophetic code number 16. These prophetic codes leaves us with the grounds to enter visions. You get me? But there are rules guiding these prophetic codes with which we access visions. But when you come to the prophetic code of vision, the visions come obeying no particular rule. But in the prophetic code of visions, visions just flow. This is what I mean. I can be sleeping without being prepared to come into a vision, and this will come up. I can deliberately disobey the rule of the prophetic code of the perpendicular and still come into visions. I can, on volition, disobey the rule of the prophetic code of motions, where I'm supposed to see a lot of visions and still come back with visions. I can disobey the rule of the prophetic code of proximity and still come into visions. But in the prophetic code of visions, at the height of it, I can see things or catch visions, whether it's going to come by an inner vision, open vision, trance, or dream. This happens either spontaneously and then at the peak of it, consciously. The prophet Elisha lived in this realm where he could enter into visions consciously to inform his prophecy. Let's talk about the prophetic code of shadow. In this case, I have to be in the presence of God, and where I can tarry with God to the point where the atmosphere or the environment in which I find myself become sacred enough for God's active interaction with me. At this point, God will manifest in his presence. What he does is that when it shows up, his shadow comes upon me and he sees everything about me. When I come out, it will take my shadow to well exceed the same atmosphere, so that visions now become literally opened for me. So there's a difference here. When you look at the prophetic code of visions, prophetic code number 19, you see that there's a difference here. In the prophetic code of visions, my shadow have got nothing to do with you. I just look at you and I decide I want to see visions like Elisha, and I just begin to see. But the thing I notice with the prophetic code of vision is that you have to be a bit conscious, at least, of the fact that you want to see vision. So that the more conscious I am, or ready I am, or inquisitive, or curious, or hungry I am, or tasty I am, with reference to I want to see vision, the easier or the more this atmosphere becomes open. That is, if I am prophetic and I have satisfied certain prophetic conditions, because relating with God have got some conditions as a prophetic fellow that you must satisfy before you ascend to the realm of the deep. Before I move away from the prophetic code of the shadow, Prophet Daniel leaned so much on the prophetic code of the shadow when he went to Tigris, when he will separate himself to go and pray privately beside riverbanks. Let me put it this way: Book of Daniel's revelations were revelations that he received with the prophetic code of vision, but he needed the prophetic code of shadow to interpret the information or message or vision that he had received with the prophetic code of vision. So he will isolate himself now to stay with God. This time, God will show up and the shadow of God will come upon him, and the prophet's eyes will be opened to see again what he had seen in the prophetic code of visions for interpretation now. So there are messages as a prophet that I will have to receive, engage in the prophetic code of visions, okay? But it will require that I must switch to the prophetic code of shadow to be able to interpret such prophecy. But for the prophetic code of splankna, which is the prophetic code number 18, here is the difference. We have got 3 sub-reams of forensic prophecy. When I talk about activating the forensic prophecy realm, which you must do as a prophet before you can operate at a forensic level all the time. There are 3 sub-reams again to go through in the forensic prophecy realm. The first realm is the imaginary realm, where prophecy comes as imagination and eventually metamorphosis into vision. I had imagined it in the imaginary realm. I imagined something about you, and I begin to see that way. It gets unlocked. That's when we talk about prophetic courts, building them. So courts are built in the process. Then you move to the faith realm. Here, I just begin to see by faith. There's a secret to this. There's a systematic approach to this. It's mechanical and mathematical at the same time, but scripturally rooted. When Balaam said, I am he that prophesies with my eyes open, he is talking about somebody prophesying from the faith realm. If the faith sub-realm, you can just pop into or peep into the realm of the spirit or burst into the realm of the spirit. Yeah, the company of angels. Just because you are engaged in faith to prophesy. Okay, when you climb from the faith sub-realm, you move into the community realm. In the community realm, everything becomes negative. It's like a community where you live from, except those that God will reserve, like issues around his throne. But at least you have satisfied, please, grown spiritually. You coming in on maturity. You are now a man of God or a woman of God. You remember that he said that a son, as long as he's a child, according to Galatians chapter 4, from verse 1, differs nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all. What happens? He said the father subjects him under lords and teachers. So these guys teach him until the time appointed by his father. When that time comes, now he's removed from being that child that was not deferred or different from or servant, and brought to the capacity where he now presides as the Lord that he really is. But why was he subject to controls and restrictions earlier? Because he was still a child. You get me? So the moment you're maturing, you come to the community sub-realm, and in the community sub-realm, you begin to see virtually everything about everybody. This is where the prophets that prophesy, engaging the prophetic code number 18, the prophetic code of splankna, operate from in the community sub-realm. They live in prophecy, and they can see about anything, any day, anytime. In the prophetic code of visions, what I see, I need to interpret. You get me? In the community sub-realm, you don't see to interpret. You already see it on as it is. It's not in dark saying. That's how the prophetic code of splankna works. So there is categorization of levels with respect to the engagement of the enlisted prophetic codes that I have just given attention to in this material. The prophetic code of the shadow, prophetic code number 16, the prophetic code of splankna, the prophetic code number 18, and the prophetic code number 19, the prophetic code of visions. The prophetic code of splankna was the one that Jesus leaned on so much during the course of his early ministry. It was the one that Moses leaned on, splankna. Yeah, Moses communicated with God all the time, and God even said that if there are prophets among you, I'll come to them in visions and in dreams. So Abraham, our father, fell into that category where he saw visions and dreams. You can get that. So when it comes to the prophetic, Moses was, in a higher class than our father Abraham, although our father Abraham was a father of faith. But Moses interacted with God, not things you see to interpret. You don't see Moses seeing things to interpret. Moses saw things the way they were. He spoke with God about issues, come to Pharaoh, talk to Pharaoh about the issues, spoke with God about the issues, come to the people of Israel, talk to them about the issues. That's the excellence of the prophetic code of splankna over the prophetic code of visions. You get that. But in the prophetic code of shadow, yeah, I need to go to a place and see with God. His shadow comes on me, and I begin to see so deep and so real. Well, I feel the atmosphere of God here. Receive the anointing to flow in the prophetic like you've never done in all your life. In Jesus' matchless name. Amen. In case you want to go deeper in the prophetic, sign up for my course, the certificate course in forensic prophecy with Shiloh School of Seers, where I teach you everything about how to prophesy with 100% accuracy and work into the prophetic office and how to call names and numbers and the likes. You can do this by picking the contact on your screen or clicking the link in the pinned comment section below this video. God bless you. See you in Shiloh School of Seers.